Hello, and welcome to Knowledge Crusaders. Today's episode will be on the digestive system. The digestive system is a body system that is responsible for breaking down food and then absorbing the nutrients so that they can be used by the body. Digestion starts when food enters the mouth, and it starts with mechanical digestion, as the teeth are used to grind down the food to make it easier to work with. At the same time, chemical digestion begins, as the saliva that is secreted within the mouth is filled with enzymes, which will begin to break down the molecules within the food. The tongue stirs the ground down food with the saliva to make a paste that is easy to work with. From the mouth, the food then enters the esophagus, which is a long tube connecting the mouth to the stomach. It can move through the esophagus through peristalsis, which is involuntary muscle contractions, and this peristalsis is what will move the food throughout the entire system. From the esophagus, the food then enters the stomach, which is a sac-like muscle that is filled with hydrochloric acid. The acid will further break down the food and break down some of the larger molecules within the food. And this is the stomach. The stomach's inner walls are coated with a mucus which prevents the acid from breaking down the walls of the stomach, preventing any damage from occurring during digestion. From the stomach, the food then enters the small intestine. And the small intestine is broken up into three parts: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. The duodenum is tasked with further breaking down the food using enzymes that are produced within the pancreas, which is behind the other organs. It's very hard to see in this picture, but it's right there in between the stomach and the large intestine. And it also uses bile that is created within the liver and then stored within the gallbladder until it is needed. The jejunum and the ileum are tasked with absorbing nutrients within the food. The small intestine's inner walls are covered in villi, which are small finger-like projections whose purpose are to increase the surface area of the internal walls of the small intestine. The small intestine can absorb nutrients through its inner walls, and therefore a larger surface area means that more nutrients can be absorbed. From the small intestine, the food will then enter the large intestine, or the colon. The large intestine removes excess water from the food. This water can then be used by the body, or it can go through the urinary system and be excreted later. From the large intestine, the waste food will then enter the rectum, which holds the excrement until it is ready to be expelled, and also sends signals to the brain, letting the brain know that a large amount of excrement has been produced. Then there is the anus, which is a grouping of muscles that can then expel the excrement that is being held within the rectum. Then the process starts all over again as food is then ingested and it goes through the whole entire digestive tract again. Thank you. This has been Knowledge Crusaders.